Hello there, Jonathan here, and welcome back to my workstation. We got ourselves some enemies here to paint up. We got the night terrors and some void spiders. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the night terrors here, as we got some issues with the joints, as the night terrors are one of the models that you actually have to put together pretty good, and there's a lot of gaps and such that we're going to have to be using this stuff here called green stuff, where you got yellow and blue, and when you squish and mix it together it's going to turn green, hence the name green stuff. And then we got some sculpting tools here for clay that we can use for the green stuff. We got several cutting tools and several of the sculpting flattening tools. Two of them are round, and this one is kind of a diamond shape, so it can get into the little nooks and crannies of the crevices. So we're going to take a look at this night terror here, where he's got some issues around the neck, around the arm, and over here at the leg where it hooks up to the butt. So here's a good chunk right back here, so let's go ahead and do some green stuff back there. All you do is just take off a chunk here, and then start the squishing technique until it turns green. I'm not sure exactly how long this is going to take. If it takes a long time, we'll probably have to just cut the video and cruise on over to the point where it's all green. Alright, well, it looks like it's actually turning green pretty fast here, so we're doing pretty good. Excellent, so we're going to start off with giving our models a bath. Got some nice lukewarm hot water here, and once again I'm using Dawn dishwashing soap. Let's go ahead and use the soft bristled toothbrush that I got. And go ahead and just give a nice little scrub down, all the little nooks and crannies, especially with this arm being in the way. Just drop it in there. And then we'll do a couple spiders here. So for spiders having kind of really skinny, scrawny legs here, they're actually holding up pretty good, so the modeling of them are pretty nice. We're going to go ahead and take these out and give them a nice spray down with some primer. We'll use the same technique that we did with the heroes, where we'll spray the white primer from the top pointing downward as if it was a light source, and then we'll go ahead and we'll use the black primer to spray underneath as if it was void of light, thus making the shadows. Alright, so we just got a couple there. We'll go ahead and wash those off, and then we'll go ahead and get these three out to the side of the house where we did the spray painting of the heroes, and we'll go get some priming done up on them. Now before we can do that, the night terror here, he's got the issues with the a lot of spaces between the neck and the arm by the shoulder, and a little bit here by the legs where it connects to the hip. So we're going to go ahead and use that green stuff to fill that in. And we'll see how that stuff works. Alright, get the spiders out of here. Alright. Good, good. Alright, this green stuff seems to be pretty good here. I got it at the same time that I did my other paints. It's been over a year, and so this stuff isn't dried out or anything, so it seems pretty good. So we'll go ahead and just take a couple of these different tools here, the round one and the diamond shaped one, so we can go ahead and push it down in there. So we just break off a little chunk and then start rolling it like a snake, or in this case a small worm. And we'll go ahead and we'll just line up the area. That's the shoulder. And just use your finger to kind of just push it right in there. And then we use the tool, it's the diamond shape, so we can get in there a little bit closer. Go ahead and get some water on there so the stuff doesn't stick as much. And then you'll take it and you'll do some side scraping on it to have it break off so you don't have a big lump of green stuff. And then you can use the end peak of it, little pointy out of there. And in the case of the night tear, he's got some bubbling looking skin. Now we can go ahead and reform the green stuff to go with the bubbles. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wash, actually instead of just the three here, I'm going to go ahead and wash all of them together, and then we'll get them outside to the side of the house, and we'll go ahead and do some priming on them, and we'll go from there. So we'll see you outside by the side of the house. Hello there, Jonathan here. And we are at the side of the house, and this is about a week after I had painted the heroes, and it is Christmas Eve, and it's about 23 degrees out, and I believe that you're not supposed to be spray painting in this weather, but you know what, I want to get this stuff spray painted done with the enemies, and I'm gonna have to go ahead and do it. I'm gonna do it really quick. So this is what we're gonna do. We got ourselves our 12 void spiders on a piece of cardboard. Straight up, we're going to be going using the white Army Painter primer, and we're going to go ahead just like a light source coming directly down on them. Then we're going to just spray right down on them with the white spray paint, the primer. Give them a nice coat on top. That's not looking that bad. Alright, so there's their highlights. And we're going to go and just give them a quick flip over. We'll do their underneath with some black to represent the shadows. Just going to flip them over here. You know, for Colorado weather and 23 degrees, it's really not that bad out here. It's a Minnesota summer to me. Alright. So with these nasty void spiders looking up you, the gaping maw and sharp teeth. Let's go and give them a spray paint of primer black to represent the shadows. Alright, looks pretty good like that. Okay, next up we got ourselves the night terrors. Let's go ahead and move this over here so we don't Give some excess spray of the primer. Alright, remember, go ahead and use a stick with some of that poster tack on it. And then we got the night tear there, as he won't fall off. So remember, we'll go ahead and we'll spray paint the white primer down on them like a light source. So you can see how light he is like that. Flip him over, there's a lot of gray. Then we'll go ahead and we'll get the black. Shoot straight up at him, representing the shadows underneath his arms and legs and his face. There you go. It's looking pretty good there, Cal. I don't even know about a paint job. This looks pretty scary by itself. Alright, let's go ahead and do up the other two. Alright. So I'm not really feeling any kind of effect from this cold weather that's supposedly supposed to affect the paint. I don't know. And there's the next one. You can see some of the green from the green stuff. And then we have, actually show you the other stuff when we get back to the workstation there. It's matte varnish. It's a liquid form. It looks like watered down Elmer's glue. So it's kind of interesting. Alright, a little bit of black. Looks like a burn victim. Excellent. Alright, you know, for this cold weather, this poster tack is holding up pretty good. So the night terrors, they're still staying on pretty good, so don't have to worry about that. So this guy here, yeah, this is Lefty from the last battle. He was the one that the heroes battled, and Shauna took him down with her axe, chopped his right hand right off, and down he went. Alright. Flip him over there to the bottom. A nice shot up. There's a lot. Looking good, looking good. Alright. Alright, well, let's go ahead and head back in to the workstation, take a look at these miniatures, see how good they are, and let's get out of this cold. Hello there, Jonathan here, and welcome back to my workstation. So we just got out of that nice warm weather outside of 23 degrees with snow on the ground on a Christmas Eve. And we're back here inside at the workstation. We got our enemies all painted up, showing off the black and white, representing the highlights and the shadows. So there's our 3 night terrors. And we got our void spiders all painted up, where our primer is white on the top, black on the bottom. Looking good, looking good. So the green stuff that I used to fill in the gaps on the night tears worked pretty good, especially with those tools, of the sculpting tools. And I was talking about the matte varnish. So this is the matte varnish that I'm using. It's a liquid stuff, and it, like I said, it looks like watered down Elmer's glue. So just drop a little 1 or 2 drops down on the crack, and then use the sculpting tool to push the liquid around in the gaps, and then go ahead and use your finger to wipe off the excess and just smooth it around into the creases of the gaps and the model itself. So it seemed to be working really good, but I mean, we did prime them, so we'll see what it looks like when it gets all painted up. And actually even looking at it right now, so we'll just take a look at one of the miniatures here, one of the and I can't really tell if this was matte varnished or if it was green stuff. I mean, I could see some lines, there's some gaps on his neck. I know that there was one here on his left shoulder, and I can't see it anymore. The ankles I can't see. Oh wait, no, here's some over here. So it's not doing 100% a good job, but this is only primer, and we'll get the paint on there to where it'll be a little bit thicker than the primer, and maybe it'll fill in the gaps a little bit more and help it out. So the last video we had here with the heroes and the Heroes of the Old West paint set, there was an issue with these paints that they weren't working. So possibly have to get myself some new set because they're over a year old. But I've been doing some research, and it looks like I just need to shake them a little bit longer. So we'll keep working on it to see how much shaking is needed here. But now the enemies are here, so we got a new set of paints here. This is Creatures of the Void paint set. The Army Painter does this one also. And it comes with 10 different colors and a paintbrush. We have a base coating paintbrush. So our other one was Precise Detail, I believe. Yeah, Precise Detail one. Now we got another one here. I do have other paintbrushes that I got from Army Painter. Dry brush, standard brush, and a small detail. So just keep building your toolbox up bit by bit, get more stuff, and pretty soon you might be able to be as good as some of those crazy guys that paint ungodly miniatures. Oh my gosh, beautiful work that they do. Alright, so we got ourselves a painting guide here. We have the Hellbat. I got 4 steps to get it painted, shows the colors that they used. And on the back we have a tentacle. And it's not the 4 steps, it just shows that gaming standard and the master class again. Shows what colors that they used, and then the gaming standard, like I said, 3 to 4 feet away looking at the miniature on the table. And if it looks pretty good, that's gaming standard. Master class, you're up close and personal with it. Fine detail, fine paint job. And here's the other available paint set, Heroes of the West, that they have from Flying Frog Productions and the Army Painter. So let's go ahead and get these miniatures, the enemies, back downstairs to the gaming table, because in the next few rooms they may be up again. So we'll start getting them painted, find out what kind of a paint job we want to do with them. We'll get them back down and start battling the heroes. And maybe poor Jerry here, he lost his right hand. So maybe Jerry can have his revenge against Shauna, who took it off with her axe. Alright, let's get downstairs.